Hello, it's 11 p.m. in London, England, midnight in Zagreb in Croatia, and 1 a.m. in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Here in Accra, it's 10 p.m. and live from the News Hub at Adisawi Kanda. This is News at 10. Over the next half hour, we'll bring you the day's news wrap from Ghana and beyond. But first, let's start with the summaries. The Health Minister Kwekuwajima Menu says government is sourcing funds to expand the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and other health facilities. Reacting to the suspension of admission by the Surgical Medical Emergency Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, he blamed patients for their unwillingness to seek medical attention from other satellite health facilities. And heads of management units in the public service will be surcharged and prosecuted if ghost names are found on their payroll. The Auditor General, Daniel Domilevo, who made this known at a news conference, said the service would embark on special audit of public workers' payroll starting from Central Region on June 17. Ghana's estimated mid-year population for 2018 is 29.6 million. At a population growth rate of 2.5% annually, the Ghana Statistical Service projects the country's population will hit 31 million by 2020. Those were our major news highlights. Remember, we're streaming live on our Facebook page and on 3news.com. You can also hear me on 3FM 92.7. Up next is the big one. Welcome back. The Human Rights Courts Division of the Accra High Court has set aside the orders of the General Legal Counsel suspending private legal practitioner Francis Xavier Sosu. The court, presided over by Justice Giftie J. Addo, said the disciplinary committee exceeded its jurisdiction. Here's a report by Selim Amenya.
The court maintained that the offense and punishment are not defined, adding that no complaint was also made for the offense of touting. The court also set aside the one-year mentorship imposed by the GLC on Francis Xavier Sosu, who is renowned for his human rights advocacy. The General Legal Counsel, which enforces the Code of Conduct for lawyers, last year barred the private legal practitioner from practicing for 3 years for a number of offenses violating the Code of Conduct of the profession. The decision to suspend him was reached after the council found him guilty of professional misconduct contrary to the code regulating legal practice in the country. Francis Xavier Sosu filed an application seeking judicial review on November 3, 2017.
Right, so we do have Francis Xavier Sosu, private legal practitioner, human rights advocate, joining us on the telephone lines now. Mr. Sosu, good evening and thank you very much. I know this must feel like a vindication for you. Is that how you feel?
Good evening and a very good evening to your cherished viewers. I must say that I feel really excited and feel happy. And of course, I feel vindicated because I believe that I've always believed that in the due process of law were violated in respect of me anywhere I were in court. So I really feel excited and feel vindicated.
I know that you started actually fighting these orders from the General Legal Counsel, and you first made an appeal at the appeals court, which was thrown out because you were told that that's the wrong platform. I need to understand from you what now, after being thrown out from the appeals court, what informed your decision now to go back to the Human Rights Court and seek a judicial review?
Well, I think that what happened at the Court of Appeal was not really the fact that we were thrown out. I mean, the Court of Appeal simply refused a stay of execution and then suspension of the orders of the council on grounds that our appeal was not filed at the appropriate court. And we challenged that all the way to the Supreme Court, and we actually had even special leave to appeal against that before the Supreme Court. And that is still pending at the Supreme Court. Now, the judicial review is an entirely different application. And judicial reviews and appeals are different, and they can run concurrently. So while those appeals were still pending at the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, we did this judicial review also for the High Court. And the judicial review essentially was actually challenging matters of law, errors of law that were so patent on the face of the record. And basically, that was what we sought to do, and that was why the judge agreed with us. Charges.
And I also know by citing copies of your petition and affidavit to the court that one of your strongest reasons for this judicial review was your belief that the General Legal Counsel exceeded its powers. So with this ruling, does it just mean that every lawyer, as prescribed in the regulations, ethics and regulations, can go on and advertise himself, or what exactly?
Well, that is not exactly what it means. Actually, what it means is that if you allege that a lawyer has advertised himself contrary to the rules, you need to follow the processes of law to bring that lawyer to book. In the first place, you need to have a complainant, and when a complaint is put before you, there are processes that you need to follow, and also designating advertising as grave misconduct in a professional respect must be done by statute. As we speak now, we don't have any statute designating that practice or that misconduct as a grave misconduct in a professional respect, which warrant a suspension of a lawyer. So there are serious issues of laws that I believe that both the GBA, the council itself, will take a look at and will perhaps do some amendment to our LIs to clearly specify these things. Because under the Constitution of Ghana, you cannot charge somebody with an offense which is not clearly defined and its penalties prescribed. Unfortunately, these are gray areas which are non-existent, and when it happens that way, it means that, at a given time, everybody can decide to, construe any conduct, be a grave misconduct, for which reason the person can just suspend another.
You also held in your presentation to the court that the General Legal Counsel acted in itself as the accuser, the judge, and the prosecutor, which is against the rules of natural justice. So with this ruling, what does it technically mean? Where does it put the General Legal Counsel in the context of enforcing rules and regulations governing the profession? All right. So I'm saying that in your presentation to the Human Rights Court, you held, your view was that the General Legal Counsel acted as the accuser, the prosecutor, and the judge, which is against the rules of natural justice. So I'm asking you, with the court upholding this particular view, where does it put the General Legal Counsel in its day-to-day enforcement of the rules and etiquettes and regulations of your profession?
Well, what it simply means is that, you cannot be a complainant, a judge, and then a complainant, a judge in your own cause, because those are fundamental rules of natural justice. And any proceedings that violate them, there are several authorities at the Supreme Court that says that it won't be subjected to sessional applications or judicial review applications and could be quashed. So I think what it means actually is that, look, by all means, let's all do our work, but let us all stay within the limits of the law. Let us do what the law prescribes so that we don't go outside what the law prescribes. We don't act in excess of our jurisdiction, or we don't act outside the powers that we have when
Right.
Disciplinary jurisdiction over lawyers.
All right, Francis Xavier, so we're grateful for your time and we wish you the very best in especially resuming work, profession which you've been in for 7 years now. Let's move on from Lawyer Sasu to something else. The University of Ghana Medical Center will be opened on Wednesday, July 18. The Health Minister, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, who made this known, also announced plans by government to make specialist training free for medical practitioners.
The announcement was made when the Health and Information Ministries, together with the Interim Management Committee of the University of Ghana Medical Center, briefed the media in a closed-door meeting. On Wednesday, July 18, only the outpatient department, pharmacy, laundry and house cleaning department would be opened. The facility, designed to employ 800 staff, would start with an initial 30 medical staff. He admitted specialists would be poached from other facilities like the Rich, 37 and Kolebu teaching hospitals to operate at the new facility. This, the health minister admitted, is likely to affect these hospitals, hence the need for training for more specialist doctors to serve in all the facilities. The minister explained government has already made plans for free specialist training to attract more doctors. When opened on Wednesday, the facility would only be a referral OPD, while charges will be just as in any public health facility until when it becomes fully operational.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Health has indicated government is sourcing funds to expand the Kolebu Teaching Hospital and other health facilities. Reacting to the suspension of emergencies by Surgical Medical Emergency Unit of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, he blamed patients for their unwillingness to seek medical attention from other satellite health facilities.
On Tuesday, when TV3 visited the hospital, the situation was dire. Some had to buy plastic chairs for their relatives to sit on to be treated. The health minister could not understand why patients with minor ailments will visit the Kolebu Teaching Hospital as their first port of call.
Kolebu was set up initially as a strictly referral facility. When it comes to emergencies, we can't sack people away from Kolebu. But by our conduct too, now all of us in Accra, everybody wants to go to Kolebu. Without referral, we all are putting on Kolebu. It's becoming too much for the facility to bear. For how long can we continue expanding Kolebu even if we have resources? And can we even get the land to continue expanding Kolebu to take all of us in the country into Kolebu? No.
He said satellite facilities such as the Mamobi Polyclinic, Kaneshi Polyclinic, 37 Military Hospital and Adabraka Polyclinic all exist to take up the pressure from Kolebu, yet people hardly visit such facilities as their first choice. He hinted government is sourcing funding to expand the hospital and other health facilities.
Latest by Friday next week, we will actually commission the expanded new A&E center in Kolebu. We are at the stage where we are quickly trying to procure some new beds to put into Kolebu. But the problem, we will insist, and the technical people are telling me, it's not just the quantity of beds that we have in our facilities, but some aspect of bed management issue, and we are addressing that.
Reacting to the Sontreso Hospital where a woman and her unborn baby died due to alleged negligence and demand for 500 cedis as doctor's fee, the minister said he is yet to receive report from authorities.
So I've just commissioned Ghana Health Service to give me a report into that matter. When we haven't got input from those who are on site, it will be difficult for me to respond to anything.
Meanwhile, the committee set up to investigate the no-bed syndrome is yet to present its report. The health minister said they have up to this Friday to present its report. Meanwhile, MP for Dafiama Buse Issa, Dr. Sebastian Sandari, has blamed the current health challenges on lack of political will.
We can do it if we make health our priority. I mean, there are so many health facilities that we can build capacity. And we advocate for building capacity at the periphery level. What is it at Kolebu? that everybody, every patient wants to go to Kolebu? Is it a specialist? What is it? Can we build capacities at some of the peripheral facilities? Rich Hospital, Tema Hospital. Let's build capacity, send specialists there, send more beds there, build more hospitals. Just by us, the University of Ghana Medical Center is there. And we have to take proactive measures, address the health care system adequately.
Certainly, anybody who falls ill will want the best medical care, honestly. So, this is NEWSAT10. We're live from the News Hub at Adisawe, Kanda, and we'll be right back with more news. Please stay. Welcome back. Now, heads of management units at the public service will be surcharged and prosecuted if ghost names are found on their payrolls. The Auditor General, Daniel Dominevo, who made this known at a news conference, said the service would embark on special audit of public workers' payroll starting from the Central Region on June 17. Here's a report by Frederick Clarence Williams.
The Ghana National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, NACAP, estimated that payroll fraud cost Ghana about 300 million cedis in 2015. There have been several efforts at ridding the payroll of public servants of ghost names. It is against this backdrop that the Audit Service served the notice.
Take advantage of the provisions under the Section 71 of his Act, that is the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act, where you can come and say, look, I've sinned. Forgive me my sin, I'll pay it. And maybe we may decide some interest that you should pay, and then you are out of that. Otherwise, if we get you ourselves, you will by all means pay, but you will also go for prosecution. And you may not find that very palatable.
The Auditor General said reports on infractions have practically been the same, recommending a relook at our public service system to determine if it is really serving the interest of the public or not.
In the course of this exercise, if we should find ghost names or names of people who should not be on the payroll, I will activate my constitutional mandate under Article 187, Clause 7, to disallow the expenditure, and on whoever's payroll we find the ghost names, we will surcharge the person. So I'll disallow and surcharge the headmaster, the head of the hospital, or any government department where we find ghost name on your payroll.
The Special Prosecutor, Martin Amidu, said his office will depart from the procedure where the Auditor General submits its report to Parliament. It is discussed and ends there.
Until the complete report, they should notify me, as long as it relates to a corruption or a corruption-related offense, so that I can begin the investigation, taking caution statements, building a prosecution docket. So by the time the annual audit report is going to Parliament, prosecution dockets are ready for examination by my office, and then those who are found to be liable, we will decide to prosecute them.
He said his office does not deal with petitions only, but requires detailed investigation to enhance prosecution.
I want the public to be clear in its mind that my office does not deal only with petitions. My office can initiate in order to prevent, in order to investigate for the purpose of prosecution and recovery of assets. So those who have had the misconception that our job is to wait for petitions should disabuse. Otherwise, I would have been waiting for the Auditor General to send me a petition before I'm here.
Meanwhile, the public accounts of ministries, departments and agencies for the financial year ending December 31, 2017 have revealed financial irregularities amounting to over 892 million Ghana cedis. Here's a report. The report, I beg your pardon, by the Auditor General showed that some 655 million of the amount is tax irregularities, with cash irregularities being about 190 million cedis. Stores and procurement irregularities amounted to some 41 million Ghana cedis. Payroll irregularities amounted to 1.7 million. Outstanding loans, advances 2.6 million, and rent irregularities 195 million. Here's a breakdown of the irregularities by the various MMDAs. So Finance Ministry, as you can see there, the irregularities amounted to some 697 million. That's the highest on the list. So followed by Employment and Labor Relations, 134, Gender, Children and Social Protection, 25 million. The Health Ministry, health sector generally, at 21 million, 2.8 million for the Interior Ministry, Communications 2.4, Agriculture 1.7 million, Local Government and Rural Development 1.2, and Trade and Industry Ministry 1.1 million. Right, so on the basis of the irregularities, we'll wrap up with NEWSAT10. Up next is Russia Daily with our sports team, and better luck next time to the English team who were bumped out of taking the cup home to England. I'm Stephen Enti. Thank you very much for staying with us. There is more news at 3news.com. Good night.